So, this is the graph you were given. If I may take your well-organized paper. You're welcome. Well-organized paper. Isn't this well-organized? Here? I know.
So colorful.
Anyways, the first question is, write down the equation of the line of symmetry. Now, looking at this red guy, what does line of symmetry mean again? Quickly.
When you draw the two sides look exactly the same.
A line that divides the two sides into two equal parts. So, where can we bisect this to have that thing? Exactly the turning point. So we have to draw something here to the turning point. Okay? So any line that passes through here, I need everybody's attention please. I don't want a dull moment. Any line that passes through this point is the line of symmetry. And the equation of that line will be x is equal to 4. And that is all I expect you to write there. However, you have to show it on the graph. So I'm going to put mine so it can reflect. Come down, yeah. X is equal to 4. So this will be the line of symmetry. I don't know why the lines are not thicker than that, but hopefully you guys are okay with it. Things, the colors, what else? Within the arrows. Okay, that's all. Okay, can you see? So this line divides this curve into two equal parts. So this is the line of symmetry, and the equation is x is equal to 4. I believe, who got the answer for that? Raise your hand for those of you that have done it. Good. Then the next thing says, everybody look at the board. The next thing says, write down the solution of this equation equals 0. What did you get from the graph? This is the same graph we are looking at. What did you get?
2 and 6.
X is equal to 2 and x is equal to 6. How do you know that?
That's y equals to the same equation.
Y is equal to
0.
0. So this is y and this is y. So y is equal to this one, then y is equal to this one. So basically, we are looking at where y is equal to 0 and where y is equal to this equation meets. Okay? Y is equal to 0 is your x-axis. Where does it meet with y is equal to the quadratic one? They meet where this line touches x-axis, basically. Does it make sense? And that is why the answers are 2 1. You just look out for where it crosses the x-axis. If the same thing is equated to 0, just look for where it intersects the x-axis. Does it make sense? So the answers here should be what and what again?
2 and 6.
2 and 6. And that's all about that. The next question is talking about, write down the solution of this equation. Okay, great. So this is where some of you keep writing nonsense for me. Okay, so please pay attention one more time. This equation and this equation are not the same. This equation is this curve. So we need to write it to look like this curve. So in the class, we talked about doing some algebra steps. What you have in 1C is x squared minus 8x plus 12 plus 11 is equal to 0. You have to always make sure you have this on the left. Whatever you have on the right is the line that it intersects with. Does that make sense? So I need to have 12. I don't even need to do what we did before. I could just add 1 to both sides. Alright? If I add 1 to both sides, I have x squared minus 8x plus 12 is equal to 1. So this is y for the curve. This is another line, y is equal to 1. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So solving this equation is asking where this curve and this line will meet. Any question? Okay, everyone? So we need to, so you do this simple calculation here. We need to see that you got line y is equal to 1. You can decide to write it, y is equal to 1 is the line or something like that. A proof that you got y is equal to 1, line y is equal to 1. By leaving it here or just writing y is equal to 1. Okay? But on the graph, you have to show your y is equal to 1. So I'm going to show my y is equal to 1 on the graph. Then we can see I don't know why the color didn't change. So y equals 1. Okay, the color changed. Hallelujah. So that's y is equal to 1. Let's see where they meet with the curve. Where does it meet with the curve? Here and here. Okay? So you trace that down to get the x values. So let's trace it down. That's how we do it. This is how we do it. Can you see what is x at that point?
1.8.
So x is equal to 1.8. And let's check the other one. X is equal to what? 6.2. Who got that? Good job. Good job. So, something similar I ask you in question D. Place. Thank you. Just to minimize the space. 1.8 and 6 point what again?
2.
6.2, okay. Trying to minimize the space. So let's maybe put a D here. So in D we have x squared minus 8x plus 15 equals 0. If I need 12, remember the target is to have the curve on the left and a random linear expression on the right, which will represent a line that meets with the curve. Does it make sense? So if I need 12, what can I do? Minus 3. So if I do minus 3 on both sides, I get x minus 8x plus 12 equals negative 3. So what does that mean? Remember, this is your y is equal to this for the curve, then this is y is equal to negative 3. So all you need to do is show the line y equals negative 3. Let's do that. Y equals negative 3. That's it. And let's see where it meets. What is this one? 3. Negative. Is that 3? Yeah, that's 3. And the other one? 5. 3 and 5. So you got x is equal to 3 and x is equal to 5. So basically, all you have to do is trace this to the x-axis and trace that to the x-axis as well. Okay? Please put that properly. Now, the last but not the least, so I just put the same question so you can do the same thing over and over again and get used to the idea. So the last one is x squared minus 8x plus 10 equals 0. So what do we do this time?
Plus 2.
Plus 2. So if you do plus 2 to both sides, you get x squared minus 8x plus 12 is equal to 2. So the line we are looking for is y equals 2. So you just plot y is equal to 2 to touch the equation. Y equals 2, and that's it. So can you see that? That's x is equal to 1.6 and 6.4, right? So x is equal to 1.6 and x equals 6.4. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So all you need to show in your paper is how you got this equation, which is this and the line. Then you write this in the space provided. That's all I ask you to do for number. You have to always draw the line because that's where the answer comes from. So we need proof that you actually know how to get the line. You have to always draw the line. So if you have not drawn any line, you need to. Okay? Any question? You need to always draw the line on the graph. All the lines. And they need to be clear enough. Okay? You too, lazy one. What's wrong with it? Okay.
Oh, you know what? There's a P. Okay. Well, the truth
All right, are we ready for the next one? Yes, sir. Yeah, ask. And it shall be explained. You mean the sum of roots is the same? This is why they are the same. Alex observed something. This dude is thinking. Look, what is this plus this? 8. What is this plus this? 8. This plus this 8.
Oh my god!
Guys, listen. There is something that is not for this level, alright? So listen, this is probably from 4. If I factorize x minus, do you know what this is? Really? Infinity is 8. Infinity is 8 lying down having a nap. Alright? This is not infinity.
Fish.
Fish?
Jesus fish.
Who said fish?
Not me.
Oh, I thought that was
You know what
Kelly.
it looks like? It looks like the logo from the hot.
Oh, come on. You guys shouldn't go to Greek and say nonsense. What is that?
Alpha.
Alpha.
You guys should have seen this movie on Netflix.
Beta omega.
I love that fight.
I don't have that.
Alright. So alpha, beta,
Omega.
yeah, delta also, gamma, delta. So these are Greek letters, okay? So this is alpha, this is beta, this is gamma, this is delta, epsilon, and so on like that. Anyway,
Are you forced to memorize those?
when you study maths, you are married to a Greek, invisible woman, basically.
Wait, really?
So you have to always know their names.
I don't want to study.
All math symbols are Greek letters, so it's like getting married to a Greek invisible woman.
Even pi.
Invisible.
You don't want to ruin your marriage if you forget their names, basically. Anyway, even pi too. Yes, pi is a Greek letter.
Is it because X?
I don't know why they chose that, but they call it alpha. I don't need to find out why. It's like finding out why is this A? Why is it called A?
Because it's
You have to go to the English people and start asking them why.
Very interesting story behind why that is Mr. Daniel.
Alright, okay, we can all go back to nursery and learn why these letters are called whatever they are called, or we can just go ahead with our graph right now. Thank you. Alright, quickly. So, quiet please. Somebody gave me a random equation. I factorize, and I got to this point. What are the solutions of the equation?
Plus beta plus
X is equal to alpha,
X is equals plus.
and X is equal to
Yeah.
beta. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So if the root of the equation are, this is how to get the equation from the root. Something we haven't done and you forget about it in Form 3. If the root of the equation are 3 and 8, it means you have factorized to the point this to get 3 and 8. Do you understand? Which means the original equation when you expand, opposite of factorize is expand, right? Is x squared minus 8x minus 3x plus 24. Do you agree with me? So that is x squared minus 11x plus 24. Do you agree? What does that tell you? The answers are 3 and 8, remember? What do you get when you add them together?
You have.
Shh. I'm saying. What do you get when you add them together? Let's focus on that. 11. When you multiply them, what do you get?
24.
So that is why when we want to teach you how to reverse it, we tell you the equation is x squared minus sum of roots plus the product of roots is equal to 0. Which means in any equation, x squared minus whatever that is here, apart from the minus, is the sum of the roots eventually. We don't care what the roots are. And what is here is always the product of the roots. So this is why that young man has been trying to imagine, what is the sum of this root? 8, because this is 8. And if you multiply it, you should get something close to 11. What is the sum of this root? 8. If you multiply these two, you get something close to 10. Check that. What is the sum of this row? This is trivia. 8, remember, minus sum plus product. Does it make sense? Check. So that is why it looks like it's magic. It's not magic, it's trivia, something like this.
It's not.
But thanks for noticing that.
Well, it makes so much sense.
Anyway,
Did we
so,
learn this already?
no, you did not. I know what we learned in middle school, and this is the first year in secondary. So, yeah, you did not. Okay, so the next one. This is a maximum graph. The first question I ask also is, what is the equation of line of symmetry? Now look at it, everybody. What is the equation of line of symmetry?
0.5.
0.5. We all agree with that?
No, I said negative 0.
Negative 0. Oh, I thought you were still dreaming about the chicken. So this line that passed through here will be the line of symmetry. Do we all agree?
Yeah.
So I put mine on the software again. Okay, we have to change everything again now. Okay, that's fine. Alright. Delete. Okay. So how about we don't go through the process of that? So what is the first thing? 6 minus x squared. So that is it. Let's put the equation of line of symmetry. X equals negative 0.5. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Make it large.
So what did I do? Okay. Is this okay? Can we see it clearly? Alright, so that's it. So what's the next question? Please, can we focus, please? Look at your book, your paper. So we're looking for the solution of the equation, right? Which is where it meets the x-axis. Let's see, where does it meet the x-axis? It's trivia. Can you see what is that? Class, where does it meet the x-axis?
2.
2 and
2 minus 3 and 2.
Yeah.
Right? Minus 3 and 2. So that's trivia already. And the next one is to write down the solution of, so here we go again. 2c. Write down the solution of 4 minus x squared equals 0. Remember, the curve itself is y equals 6 minus x squared. So, C says solve the equation 4 minus x squared equals 0. So what do we do?
Find the difference.
Yeah, so what do we do to this one to make it look like that? Plus 2. So if I do plus 2, then it will be 6 minus x squared is equal to 2. So which means I need to just add the line y equals 2 to my graph. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. What's going on?
Sugar plum.
What just happened? Okay. Y equals 2. That's it. So where did they meet? Let's check that. Excuse me, would you mind excusing, like, just give us some space. Thank you. What is that? X equals what?
Negative 2.55.
Negative 2.6. Basically answer. Negative 2.6 and 1.6. So you should get something closer to that. Alright? You should get something closer to that. The next one is by showing your workings, which is this anyways. I'm just repeating the same thing. Aha, that's a bit different. So 2D, please look up. 2 minus 2x minus x squared equals 0. If I want to achieve this, I need to make this 6, right? Which means I need to add 4 to both sides. Okay? I also need to make this negative x. What do I do to this?
Plus x.
What? I need to. Did you say divide? You're going to divide this one among 4 things? Come on. What do we do, everyone?
Plus x.
Plus x. You can't divide 1 out of 3.
Wait.
So this is 6 minus x squared. And on the other side, what do we have now? X plus 4. So we need to plot the graph y is equal to x. What is wrong with this thing?
Yay!
Back.
I'm calling me.
So we need to plot the graph y is equal to x plus 4. So let's see. Plot the graph y equals x plus 4. Here we go. Then we need to see where does it meet with the... Can you see where it meets? Focus please. Here. So you trace that down. And here you trace it down. What did you get before I show you on
0.75.
0.75 and negative 2.8.
75.
Okay, so negative 2.7. That's nonsense. It's not a competition. Alright. And the other one, 0.7. Okay? That's good. Well done. We have something similar.
It's gonna be back.
It's gonna be better. Wow.
Yeah, Mr. Patient. This is like how many times you've said the word patient today.
He's trying to distress people.
What was wrong?
What's
going on?
你快選擇跳舞
Okay, everyone, quiet please. So the main equation is still this. 6e, you have to solve this equation. Okay, now that's, 2e. 2e. Thank you. So to make this and this look alike, what do? We need to add what first? Add 4. And we need to make this, you need to minus 0.5, right?
Yes.
Truth. They're not listening. I don't know what is wrong with both of you. If you're not talking, you're not paying attention. What's your problem? So, I do the same. I had 4. Is it time already?
It's not.
I'm saying some teachers rubbing about like they want to chase me out of the class. Okay. So we had this. We do minus 0.5 also. So, it's going to be 6 minus x now, because this is now 1. Minus x squared. And this is 4 minus 0.5x or minus 0.5x plus 4. It doesn't matter who comes first. It's not a competition anyway. So.
Space.
Press more than space, dude.
Press enter. Press escape.
Are you sure this has not been happening?
Move the projector.
Move the projector.
Move the black.
Move the switch.
Black.
Okay.
Again.
Mr. Patient. Okay. Y equals enough. Y equals negative 0.5 x and what?
Plus 4.
So, what did you get?
Negative 1.7.
0.8.
Positive
0.8. What the negative power did you get?
Negative 1.7.
Negative 1.7. Let's see. Yeah, that's right. And the other one?
1.2.
1.2. Yeah, that's right. Correct. Negative 1.7 and 1.2. And that's all about the second question. Okay, so the third question is a bit different because it has to do with gradient to a curve. I can't do that here. Okay, what I'm going to do is put this up, project it on the board so I can draw the gradient. I don't want to correct gradient on this one. Is time alright? No, it says 326. Class ends 3:32. You're still thinking last year, please. Remember, this is not Form 2 anymore, in case you don't know. You're not in Form 3.
Not Form 3. What?
Okay, quiet please. Thank you. So, I go straight to question 3. The equation is x squared plus 2x minus 3. So we delete all this. What's the first question? Can somebody tell us what the first question is? Draw a tangent to the curve at where? At x equals negative? Negative 2.
Yes.
Okay, so negative 2, x squared negative 2 is here. How about you use a different color? Okay, so the tangent must pass through this point. So you put your ruler. I don't think you have any meter rule in this class. Not meter rule. Seriously. Meter rule is that thing your science teacher used on the board. Anyway, so let's pretend there's a meter rule. So basically, you're going to end up drawing something like that. Because it's not going to be accurate. And you extend it above. So this is your tangent because it has to touch it at x equals that. Okay? And what is the next thing after that?
Find the gradient.
Find the gradient. So basically choose any easy point, like I said. So if I choose something like this, what did you get at your gradient should be minus something?
Minus 2.
Minus 2, minus 1.9. Actually, I can do the gradient without all that to check which answer is correct or which one is close to it. What is the equation of the graph again?
xy equals x squared.
X squared
Plus 2x.
plus 2x
Minus 3.
minus 3. Okay, so if I differentiate, forget about all this nonsense. I get 2x plus 2. Gradient at what point? So this is the gradient at any point. So at x equals what?
2.
Negative 2. So my gradient will be 2 times negative 2 plus 2. And that's negative 2. So your answer should be close to negative 2. Or exactly negative 2. We call this differentiation. You learn it in calculus later. That is how you find the gradient without touching the graph. Once you know the equation, you can know the gradient of the curve at any point. Anyway, so your answer should be close to negative 2. 1.8, negative 1.8, negative 2.1, exactly negative 2. Anything within that range is fine. But not negative 1.2. It's too far. And not negative 3.5. That's too far away. Do you understand my point? Are you listening? Do you understand? Alright, so that's that. So this is called differentiation. Have you heard about differentiation, anyone? dy by dx, did you hear anything like that before? Okay, never mind. Anyway. I won't show you the trick here so you don't use it to cheat me in the test. Yeah. Anyways, the next thing is, so you get, somebody got minus half here, so it's not correct. By drawing an appropriate line, okay, so this is the last question, everybody pay attention. Remember, this is the equation of the curve. By drawing an appropriate line, we want to solve x squared plus 1.5x minus 2 equals 0. So what is the first thing we need to do? Okay, so after looking at the different, what do you do to them?
You plot a line.
You don't need to find any different. Like, just tell me what I plot. Thank you. I need 0.5x, and I also need minus 1. And that is what I will do to the other side too, right? 0.5x, then I do minus 1. So this is x squared plus 2x minus 3, and this is just 0.5x minus 1. So what do I do now? You draw the line y equals 0.5x minus 1. So let's do that. So y equals 0.5x minus 1. So that's the line. So this is the line. So to solve it, we look at where it meets. Okay? So what is this point? This point is somewhere here. What?
Negative 2.4.
Negative 2.4.